Welcome to Uzbekistan's Economic Forum 2021, where I am delighted to be joined by Lord Jim O'Neill, economist, former chairman of Goldman Sachs Asset Management. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So what does it take for a country like Uzbekistan to become an emerging market darling?
Being successful. I think from what I've heard, this is my first ever visit, they have a lot of strong ambition. The key, as it always is with any country, is actually delivering or showing evidence of delivery. As they say, it's easy to talk, but actually walking the walk is harder, particularly for a country with a very complicated past. But if they follow through and deliver on what sounds so exciting, obviously Uzbekistan's got quite a bright future.
What would you say is the key factor for the success of this vast program of changes?
So I would say, as I talked about at the event, South Korea is probably the single most interesting country since I've been an adult, because it's the only place of more than 45 million in the world, literally in the world, that's gone to high income status like a Spain or a Portugal, higher. And therefore, what have they done that so many other countries failed to do? And it's a combination of education, clear and sustainable governance, use of technology, and engaging in international trade. So I would say, do as much of that as you can, and you'll get somewhere.
The Uzbek government is very insistent that growth should be inclusive. What should we make of that?
It made my ears prick up. I think it is, I'd almost describe it as the right fashionable thing to do. So many problems of the past 20 years, especially this pandemic, have highlighted the absence of inclusive growth on the back of global capitalism. And if Uzbekistan is going to succeed on introducing some radical reforms based around getting the private sector to do so much more, it will not be able to do it unless the growth is inclusive, because they are the problems we're seeing in so many other places. So if the Uzbek government follows through on their commitment to inclusiveness, that's probably the most important thing I've heard at this conference today.
And finally, the fact that we are here in Tashkent for the country's first economic forum, what do you think it says about what's going on in the country currently?
So I've traveled for many, many years to lots of big conferences, and it's easy to get sucked into wow. And the key is, and this is possibly difficult for you guys involved in organizing it, as difficult as it's been, and it's a very impressive event, actually none of it matters unless the Uzbek government really follow through on what they are highlighting and showcasing at this event. That is what matters, not what actually is said today.
Lord Jim O'Neill, thank you.
My pleasure.